money to the ceilings. Yeah. On the floor. Music now. We ballin' what's the scope? That's how I do. 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 Stokey, where you at, man?
Swag on a billion. Worth
Poppin' bottles all night. Yes, sir. Prince Carroll's definitely in the building. Real Prince.
That's how I do. That's how I do. That's how I do. That's how I do. That's how I do.
Tell him, Briz. Yup, that's how I do. Got two.
Just keeping it real. I thought we were recording, so I held like almost a half-hour conversation with these dudes, and it wasn't recording. Well, that was just more like a minute, but we had talked about some things in maybe the half hour it took to set up the new tape. And I say new tape because if you were watching last week, we were talking with T-Ferg and T-Man, right?
Yes.
And I gotta ask you about that too, but we talked about a lot of stuff. You know, T-Ferg used to be with a group called them Dynasty Boys, and are you going solo now? Or?
You know what's funny about that? Like, we've been, how can I say it? Went down our own path. Okay. We still communicate on a daily. I talk to Cody all the time, Stacks, I talk to him. But like, we all just got to a point where we seen different visions for our dreams. You know, everybody's level of success was a little different. Where my level of success may be, I just wanted to do music and sell a bunch of records on iTunes, versus Stack's level of success maybe he wanted to do shows in the South region. You know, I'm just throwing things out there. Not saying that's what it was, but...
I was going to ask you, is that what it was?
Nah, not saying that's what it was, but, you know, it just... I like to look at it like we all had different paths that we had to walk. You know, God put us together for a reason, to learn some things, and then he separated us to follow our own way for his will. Now, we may come back together, but we do still communicate. I like to tell people we more like an MMG now. We're not transporter no more, but we still all cool and we talk, but we all kind of got our own career. Like Meek Mill, Wale, Rick Ross, you know what I'm saying? Right. They still rep what they rep, but they all kind of doing their thing.
For those that were, I'm going to say last, 4 or 5 years ago, when y'all were like really rolling, even longer than that maybe. Every open mic, every show you go to, the Dynasty Boys were there tearing it up. I mean, making it like.
Them days was dope.
It was fun.
Yeah. And you know what? I love that. Even when I'm on stage now, sometimes I kind of emulate when we were a group. Mm-hmm. And it's like, sometimes you may not know it just watching me perform, but mentally I pretend like Stack's in the crowd right now, Cody over here dancing, and I'm doing whatever I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one thing that I did learn from them, is how to be a better performer. Okay. You know, I learned that, and
that was a good take.
I'm the first to admit we all got weaknesses, we all got flaws, and one of my crutches was, as an artist, I wasn't as outgoing. You know, but hanging around them guys, they showed me how to become outgoing. And then when we all went down our separate ways, I had no other choice but to get it right. Because, if I didn't get it right, I wouldn't be doing shows, and I wouldn't be pursuing the music as hard as I am now. Okay. But I learned it through the performance and just watching how they do it. I picked up from them guys. I got a little bit of Stack's energy, not all of it, because he's a wild boy. Got a little bit of Stack's energy. I try to do a little dance moves like Cody. It don't never work out, but the fact that I can't dance makes for better entertainment.
Makes it even funnier.
Yeah, so it works, you know.
Because you were probably the comedian of the group.
Yeah, like, well, outside of music, Stack's was the comedian. He would crack jokes on everybody. Like, he would just roast you.
You don't care who
I'm not
you
a good ribber. I can't rib. Like, he would say certain stuff about me, like, bro, you short, you little midget, chubby, blah, blah, blah. And I wouldn't have no comeback for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the group, my role was making the beat, and for the most part, not all the time, but for the most part, coming up with the topic of the song and what we gonna rap about and sing about or whatever we was doing. That was kind of my role. So if you looked at it, I was kind of more the background guy, even though I was on stage with them. Behind the cameras, I was the guy sitting here with him trying to figure out what's the next record.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And they were more the people person. I was kind of shy.
So I'm going to say this. For those that don't know me, as I told you before, my background is in music and audio production.
Yeah.
Street journalism was my introduction to video, but that was after years of audio production.
Yeah.
And working, and I spent a lot of time learning studio. So I went for this internship working for Indigo Productions out at Melody Fair as a stage tech, just to learn the live aspect of it. So there is a difference between some of the things you need to do in preparation in the studio versus preparation on stage. Have you felt that?
Yeah. What's funny about it is when we was in a group, a lot of people thought we rehearsed, but we didn't. We felt like be you on stage. You know what I'm saying? When you try too hard to do something, it don't work out that way. But as far as preparation go now, it's a lot different because if I mess up, I don't have that guy to my right and my left that's gonna pick up my slack. You know what I'm saying? So it is rehearsal now, and versus the studio.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of them things where I give you an example. If I know I'm coming to the studio to record, I gotta at least know my verse. I may mess up, but I'm not really too worried about it because my engineer, he dope. He can, all right, Ferg, we're going to stop right here. We're going to punch you in right here, and we're going to finish, blah, blah, blah. But on stage, it's a whole different ballgame. You mess up, the crowd like, bro, you messed up. So when I'm rehearsing,
because they're your fans, they know every lyric.
Yeah, so when I'm rehearsing for a show, I like to give myself the worst case scenario when I'm rehearsing. So I'll be at my house, I have my stepdaughter, and I have my shorty, they'd be sitting there, and I'd be like, yo, as I perform this song a cappella, I need you to talk to me. Just ask me with random crap. I don't care. Because when you at a show, it happened to me one time. I was at a show, and I performed. I'm rapping to the girl, yeah, baby, blah, 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 blah. She was like, what's your number? Mine's is 34, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, and Stacks and I was like, yeah, so blah, and they picked up my slack. But that experience.
Were you like shocked that she was giving you her number? And
it was one of those things where it was like, you know what it was? As I was performing, instead of focusing on the performance, I really got in tune with that fan. And when she was giving me her number, I kind of was like, it's like as if I was about to conversate with her, but I had to, Ferg, you on stage. You can't just conversate with her because you're in the middle of your verse. But by that time, it's like I'm thinking about that and not my verse. And it's like, oh, and I look, Stacks picked up my slack, and I'm like, yeah, and I kind of caught back up. But like now, it's one of them things where I gotta, I'm in a blah, 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 and as they talking to me, I gotta try to block them out. Now that's one of the hardest exercises to do. But when you get on stage, it works, because sometimes as you rapping, your front speakers may go out, but you used to the distraction, so it doesn't phase you. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? And it's a very hard exercise, I'm not gonna lie.
By front speakers, you mean the monitors?
The monitors, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or even the speakers. I've been in events where the speakers went out. The microphone went out. And good thing I rap loud. I had to, you know what I'm saying? Because the show still got to go on.
I'm glad you said what you said about knowing your verse before you come to the studio. My biggest pet peeve is somebody coming to the studio and don't know their own song. Didn't you write this fucking song?
Day, all day.
And when I as a producer, when I would work with groups, they would be like, "When are we gonna go to the studio? When are we gonna we'll go? It'll be time to record the song when you can sing it 3 times in a row, and it sounds like the same song every time you sing it. Now, every time you sing it, it sounds like a different song because you don't know the lyrics."
Right, I've been there.
And anybody's been in my studio, and there's some specific people I'm talking to. Y'all know.
That's the truth.
Now I told you. Listen, I told you I'm a realist, so I'm gonna keep it player. It's been some times where I would book a session with bro, and I'm like, yo, I'm coming Wednesday at 6:00. Now I'm telling them Sunday, so I'm rehearsing my verse, but at the same time, management calling me, yo, bro, we got you an interview with this magazine. So I'm like, all right, I'll put that verse out real quick. I get here, he'll tell you, I'm like, bro, don't get mad at me. I might mess up a lot. He like, Ferg. You gotta get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when he do one of these, it's like, yeah, it's gonna be a long day today. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna get it though, bro. Yeah, and then I'm like, you know what I'm saying? It happened to me. I gotta be honest. I'm not gonna say I'm just perfect. No, it happened.
Or sometimes he'll misplace his rhymes.
Yeah.
He'll definitely misplace.
Or
he'll know his first verse, he'll know his hook, and he'll know the second verse. But like a bridge or something, like, yo, I don't know where I put that paper at.
Like,
again, that shouldn't be a problem because
Now,
papers are allowed in the studio.
now you know what? It's funny you say that.
I hate that when people read the other. Don't you know it? No.
And it's funny you say that. Papers ain't allowed because I'm gonna keep it honest with you. I try to produce, not produce, but I try to write a song every day. Like he'll tell you.
Yeah.
I will send him a song Monday, and then come Tuesday, I'm sending him a whole different song.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So.
So they just come
You know,
out,
and when I send it to him, remind you, I'm at my home studio, so I may send him just a rough draft so I don't forget it. Yo, bro, look, I did this, I wrote this, blah, blah, blah. When we get to the studio Saturday, we gonna lay this down, But then Saturday, it's like, bro, you done wrote 5 songs in that week. Like, you doing the song that you wrote Monday? You know what I'm saying? So it's one of the things, like, I just wrote a song yesterday, or I'd be like, all right, bro, I know it, but let me just go, and I go like this, and my phone will be like this. Boom, and then it died.
But I don't count that, though. I don't count that. You know why? Because that sounds more like that's still in the production phase.
It's still production.
It's still in the creative phase of the song.
Yeah.
You're not coming to record the final product. You're coming to see what you can put with it. That don't count. I'm talking about when it's time to record the song.
You should know your music.
The way it's going to be heard on the radio. There's the only time that paper it should be written down. Yeah. I used to make the artists I work with. I would write it down so me and my partner could sit there and read and follow along and make sure that they're not fucking up as they go along.
Yeah.
That's the only time.
Right.
That's the only thing.
Yeah.
We're the only ones reading. Everybody else should. But that's
yeah.
That's
what
not here.
I tell some artists though, I mean, even if they do need that paper or something in front of them
If
to
they
read,
need that paper, it's not time to record.
you know what I mean?
Time to rehearse.
Yeah. But if they already booked the time, I'm like, okay, you could come to the studio if in my mind, you know your music. But sometimes they come in, they got their tablet and they got their phones, and like he was saying earlier, it would die.
It would die.
My thing is, write it down.
You know,
write it on paper. If you write it on paper.
And you know what?
Old school.
I don't disagree with either one of y'all two. Which y'all saying?
Go old school.
I agree with what y'all saying. When the artist come here, he should know his stuff. But what I can say for a defense, when you start to get into this music industry, it's like jumping up from JV to varsity. It's fast paced. You make a song and you think, yo, this is the best song I ever wrote in my life. It took me 3 weeks to write, and then you put it out, and then last year you still pushing it, but then you got your label and management saying, all right, Ferg, what's next? Or I'm just using me since we talk. All right, Ferg, what's next? And you like, bruh, I just gave you a master. What you mean what's next? No, we need another song because once we put this out, when it died down, we already need the video and this done for. And it's like, damn, all right, well, let me write some more. So you get into the habit of saying, fuck, I got to stay ahead of the curve. Let me write 20 songs.
You've actually hit the nail on the head about why sometimes when groups come out and they have a run, why there's such a long time before you hear from them again.
Yeah.
Because they're out on tour and they're promoting. They don't have time to sit down and write and produce. So it's best to have. It's always been my plan that if I'm producing somebody, from the jump street, we're going to produce 3 albums or 3 CDs now, 3 CDs worth of material, and record it so that, and then we'll pick the ones that are going to be on the first project so that once that gets rolling. All we have to do is take some of the others and start promoting it, versus having to pull you away from from your performance now of the songs that we're promoting to write and record another.
Yeah,
that's
the truth.
And you know what? That's true. Because honestly,
so I'm not going to charge anybody for that little bit of information, but
you know what?
Yeah, go ahead and write it down.
Yes, and you know what's funny about that? I was just going to add on to what you said. That's the exact format we do here, where it's like
that's what made me think of it. It sounds like you're doing.
For example, we working on my first debut album. I did about 5 mixtapes now, but we like, okay, Ferg, you building up a nice solid following. You finally got a label behind you that can help fund up the project and promotion and everything else you're trying to do. It's time to come out with that album, the debut album. So for the album, it's only gonna be 12 songs on it. But we recording 30, 40 songs just for 12 songs. And the songs that don't make the album is either going to go on another CD or we going to, figure out a way to incorporate it, throughout it. So that way it's like, okay, Ferg, you dropped the album. It went good, but people's short attention span, it died down after blah, blah, blah. We needed, I was like, I'm on tour. Cool, don't worry about it. You recorded 40 songs. We're going to pick another 12 and we're going to put that out. Right. That should give you enough time to record some more to catch up. You know what I'm saying?
And that actually kind of explains why Tupac, Prince, and Michael Jackson all
Yeah,
died.
Michael Jackson came out with an album.
All of them died with a whole bunch of songs recorded in their vault. For that, and they would do it for that reason.
Quincy Jones said it himself. He's like, Michael did 40 songs for the Bad album. 40 songs for the Bad album, and there's only 12 on there, or 11.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's that's how you got to do it. You got to present the label or the people with, or the company you're with the whole big vast of music, and you got to sit down collectively as a group. And then, all right, I like this song, this song, this song, this song. These songs are going to be on the thing. Now, instead of just tossing them other songs, if those songs are still good enough to be on albums or whatever, why toss them? Keep them. Keep them.
Freeze. So I had to pause to ask a silly question. It turned out to be a silly question because the answer was no. But I ain't even gonna mention what the question was, but it was about the studio. Anyway, we was talking about live versus studio. What do you do to prepare your audio tracks for a live performance?
I had a few live performances, and what we did was we played the audio tracks with the band, and they all learned their own instrument. So if you play the drums, you paid attention to the drums. You play guitar, pay attention to that. And of course, live is so much better. Oh, it's so much better because you get to add your own stuff, and then as you performing, it's like when I rehearse with a digital record, you limit it. You only got what's on that digital record. Mm-hmm. But when you rehearse with a live band, you can say, all right, Joe, on this part, I'm going to stop, I'm going to talk to the crowd, and then you do a solo. And then they do whatever they want. You feel what I'm saying? It gives it more energy.
What made you think of that shit?
What made you think? Just being creative. It's like, okay, yo, on this part, boom, a perfect example. You got a digital track. It got 2 verses, it got a hook, and it got a bridge and another hook. After that, the song over. You either gotta go to the next song, you gotta talk to the crowd a cappella, whatever. But if you playing that same record live, you got your verse, you can do what you do. But in that verse, you can say, okay, we live, so yo, when I say this is the key word for drop the drums and just let the guitar play or let the piano play. You feel what I'm saying? You can do that because the block, the boom, the drums drop. Guitar just going, so now you just with the guitar versus a digital record is more technical work to say, yo, T, because let's say today Tuesday, but my performance is Saturday. I may not want to do that Tuesday. I may not be in the mood. I'm like, no, I like the way it sounds. But then come Saturday, I see the band or I see the crowd, and I'm like, oh, that would have been dope if we'd have dropped the drums right here. You can't do that. But versus when you're dealing with musicians who know how to adapt to your rhythm, you can say, yo, change your plans. When I say this, be on the lookout for it. Drop the drums.
So you got a band.
Like
yeah, it's one of the things where it's like, I don't have a band, but I have performed with a band. I was with a band before. And this is why I'm able to compare the two.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying? And when we rehearsed with the band, it was, yo, boom. As we rehearsing, I would hear something or my bandmate would hear something and be like, yo, Ferg, what if when you said this, we did this? Now you can adapt to it. Versus when you're dealing with digital, you limit it to whatever's on that thing. You feel what I'm saying? Where, for instance, if it's a digital record and if you're a drummer and I tell you, yo, on this part, I want the drums to do this. In order to switch it up digitally, you got to go back in the program and actually play it. But on a drum, you could do it on the fly. So I may say, yo, I want the breakdown to be 8 bars. And you be like, no problem. And just do it on the fly. And it's so much more energy because y'all vibing now. It's not really formatted. It's like, yo, we freestyling now. We just feeling the music.
Right.
And most people love when you feel the music because I'm learning as an artist, you give them energy. You don't feed off them. You see what I'm saying? So when you performing, if you feeling the music and you going, at that point, if you an artist and you feeling that music, you probably could freestyle something and it's going to sound dope. You know why? Because you in your zone. Versus digitally, you can't get in your zone because you limited. You got to follow a scheduled programming, as they call it. You know what I'm saying? Versus with the thing, after the 2 verses, the hook, the bridge and the hook, digitally it's over with. Right. But live, yo, after the song go off, y'all just rock out.
Rock out.
And I don't know if you was there, but we did it with Facebook Official when I was with Dynasty. We did Facebook Official, Facebook. It was at the Second Cup event. And we did it, and then afterwards, the band members was just feeling the song. They just kept rocking out. We went to the bar, got a drink. They still playing Facebook Official. I came back, and I just rapped to 16 that wasn't even a part of the song, and the crowd was going crazy because it's like, dang, they still rocking out.
I've seen you guys perform Facebook Official so many times, but I don't
Yeah.
think I was at that particular.
You might not have been,
I,
but
like, I don't in the back of my mind remember
Yeah.
a live band.
yeah. And see, if you go on YouTube and type in Dynasty Boys Facebook Official Second Cup, you will see it. It ain't great quality, but you can still hear what I'm talking about. And this was when there's one girl, Joy, one of her cousins. They actually on tour right now. I think with who, Fantasia? Or they on tour with somebody famous. They're a drummer. It's some females. They bad though. And
Yeah, I know that.
I'm talking about, they was actually
one's a bass player.
one's a bass player, one's a drummer, and they didn't even know our
Joy, and I forgot the other.
Yeah, and this was so amazing about it. They didn't even know our song because we didn't rehearse with them. We was performing digitally. But as the song was fading out, by the end of the song, musicians are so talented, they picked up the notes and the keys, and then they just kept playing because they was feeling the song. And if you go back and watch the video, anybody, whoever watching this, go back and watch the video, you see the crowd really got more in tune when the live instruments came in. Because now they doing their solos, they do. I mean, we had basic drums in there. I made the beat to Facebook Official. I'm not a producer. So it was very basic, or a beat maker, whatever you want to call it.
You become
know
a
what I'm saying?
producer when you start doing things
Yeah.
a producer does.
And my point exactly. I composed it. Whatever music term y'all niggas want to use, that's what I did, and it was basic. But once the drummer got onto it, she gave me drops where I didn't have
life to
drops.
it.
Yeah, and in return, the crowd went crazy. You feel what I'm saying? So rehearsing for a band versus digitally, I love rehearsing with a band because if you're an artist, you automatically creative. You see what I'm saying? So you able to do things that you couldn't normally do on a digital record. It's limited.
You said she gave you drop. What do you mean by drops?
Drops, like, for instance, my beat was Facebook Official, boom, da boom, da boom, boom. And that was the whole beat. I looped that shit. I ain't gonna lie. It was looped. You know what I'm saying? After I played the first 4 bars, I just looped the fucking beat. But what she did was, instead of boom, da boom, da boom, she was like boom, da boom, da boom, 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 da boom, da boom, do 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 boom, da boom, boom, do 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 do. You know, them drops where it's a transition, where it's like you still can play the same melody, but that transition just give it something fresh to the ear. Where it's like, oh shit.
I gotta admit that I had to grow into liking it. I used to hate when my favorite group would come and they play the song differently than I'm used to hearing it at home.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is like a garage band playing your song. It's like you play it.
Yeah.
And I come to hear what I've been hearing at home all this time on the record I bought, not whatever you just did.
Yeah. And you know what I like about it though? What I do like about it is me now that I'm getting into the whole making beats and everything. I notice, just from my perspective, when I used to have artists come in the studio with me, I make a beat, it'll be a simple ass beat. But because you sat here and watched me make a beat out of thin air, it excited you. You feel what I'm saying? Just like with the live band. It may not be nothing technical, but for you to say, damn, that person is talented, they could do this and I can't. I love the fact that you just created this shit out of nothing.
Right.
That's the exciting part because it's not so much the music or the sonic sound that you're hearing, it's the talent behind it that's making you say, damn, that shit fresh. How is she making that riff on that guitar like that? That's a still instrument when you're not messing with it. But when you messing with it, you going, like, how the hell is your fingers doing that? That's what makes it exciting. It's not really the sound, it's the person and the talent behind it.
Just 4 chords and a beat.
Yeah.
But the way you play them
It's
4
the
chords
talent.
is way different.
I seen people, my man's, I forgot his name. I can't think of it off the top, and I don't want to mess it up. But my man's that I met at it was a business seminar we went to. He know how to play the guitar behind his back, and he's very complex with it. But he could play some simple stuff, but because it's behind his back, it's so much more exciting. Because it's like, bro, you only playing 4 chords, but you doing it like this. That's amazing. Because if you play behind your back, you actually playing in reverse. You're not playing this way. You feel what I'm saying? You playing in reverse, where it's like you can't play the same keys that you would do this way, because when you playing this way, your thumb is moving, but behind your back, you got to mess with these. You feel what I'm saying? And that's what the live instruments do to you. It gives you life because it's like, that is so talented.
So I said, it wasn't really until the Roots that I heard that being popular, having a live band playing with hip hop. I don't know if any other group did before. I'm probably sure they did. But the Roots, that was kind of what was their moniker. That was their claim to fame. They had a live band versus produced music.
It's amazing. And I ain't gonna lie, I used to be against live music at one point in my career. You know why? I was such a digital person. I kind of felt how you felt, where it's like, man, I like the way it sounds digitally, though. I ain't really trying to. But as I performed and rehearsed with live bands, the energy you get from it makes you say, yo. Like, my boy Amri, he used to always say, bro, I love live sound, because he play guitar. I'm like, that's for you. That ain't for me. That's for you. But as I got to rehearse with a band, and I'm like, wait, so all I got to do is say a code word in my verse that I already wrote, and that signals my drummer to do this and make the crowd do this? Oh, I love it. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? It's one of those where I can say a code word like drop in, because it's related to my verse, and the drummer gonna drop, but the guitarist gonna riff, and it's like, whoa.
Like I was
that's
saying
or the little signals they do where all of this, or whatever they do where they
Charlie Wilson,
and
he
boom.
whistles. I've been to his concert.
Yeah.
And then, or Michael Jackson, just taking your glasses off. Then the beat drop.
It's amazing, bro. Like, it's
You know what I'm
that
saying?
it's that energy that makes you say, that's what makes a show, where it's like, yo, y'all niggas is all in unison right now. This is crazy.
Everybody is
This
together.
man winked at me, and the band, because he did like this, they ain't see the wink. They seen him do this. That made the drummer and the guitarist do this.
Right.
That's like, yo, that's
The
freaking
master of
amazing.
that was
That was
freaking James
rehearsal,
Brown.
man.
James Brown was the
Yeah.
master of that.
That's amazing.
You wasn't that good. You getting out the band. James Brown, father of hip hop.
Right.
That's
straight
amazing.
up.
So well, I'm glad you said that. You know, I love seeing live bands perform, and I because there aren't very many hip hop groups doing it. How did you come to associate that?
It was actually, before I'm in what I'm in now, I was previously signed to a management company. You know, Milestone Music Group. It was ran by this lady, Joy. Shout out to Joy. And she already had a band of her own because she's a musician.
Okay.
But she went to school for, business management and all of that. So, we linked up artist management. And she said, Ferg, I want to make you a little different. I don't want you to do what everybody was doing, taking your CDs to the DJ and just rapping over digital. She said, we want you to stand out, so we're going to put a band behind you. She already had a band. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know anything about it. This was around the time where I'm like, man, I like my little digital sound. You trying to take it away from me. She was like, just give it a try. Just be open to it. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I did it. And then when I seen how they was able to mix up and make the sound amazing, that's what made me say, you know what, this might not be such a bad idea. And then when I performed, the first time I performed with the band was at Juneteenth. This was a couple years ago. And I performed, and I jumped off the stage. I stood on the table, and I'm rapping. And I remember Joey and my bandmates, they said, Ferg, because we ain't get to rehearse that long, we don't got no code signal for you. But don't worry, we gonna rock, we gonna follow your lead. So you just rap and let us do what we do. I said, okay, cool. So as I'm rapping, I heard the band behind me just switching up and soloing and it gave me energy to where I was like, inside I'm jumping like, yo, this is insane. Why this ain't on the track? Like, you know what I'm saying? But I was able to display it outside, and then I got to power. I was like, yo, and I'm just gonna throw somewhere. I'm gonna just say Facebook official. Your Facebook official. When I say it, y'all said Facebook official. And as I did that, Facebook official, Facebook official, boom, 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 boom. Like they was going with my syllables, and it was just like,
well jazz musicians are able
yeah,
to R&B that's
and you know what's crazy about it?
Do that.
What's crazy about it was,
I say dudes, I mean generally, I've seen guys and girl musicians.
And you know what's crazy about it? It was this one guy in the band. Now I'm gonna be honest, I'm terrible with names, but it was this one guy in the band. He had dreads, and when he played the guitar, like you can almost hear words. You feel what I'm saying? It was like you knew it wasn't words, but he matched. No, I'm talking about the band I was in. Yeah, like you can hear words where like if I said, she cold and she something, he'd like he would match your tone to where it's like, yo, that sound like kind of me. But in the guitar, you know what I'm saying? I thought that was amazing. It just gave me energy. And once again, you don't feed off the crowd energy. You provide the energy and let them feed off you. So when the band gave me energy, it was able to get a crowd energy because now they feeding off of me as an artist. You know, it was amazing. I love bands. I'm gonna be honest.
But that's kind of why when you see a album or CD recorded live, it says live at such and such a place. Each performance is different.
Yeah.
And unique. And sometimes a performance in a particular place may be so unique that even the band can't reproduce it. Good thing we recorded that because that was hot. And I don't even remember what we did. What made me think
The one, you know, and I wouldn't really say it's pressure because like we talked about earlier, if you're rehearsing nonstop, you can say it without even thinking. But the one pressure you will have first performing with a band and digitally is digitally you can at least have your background, your ad-libs in the song to kind of help you if you mess up. With a band, it's you. Unless you got a hype man who's doing the ad-libs. And
There's
even
ways.
Huh?
There's ways. You get a click track going in the beginning, then you got your digital recorder hooked up, and your band is playing over everything.
Yeah.
So now your backgrounds are still there. They got
Yeah.
mixing boards that do all that.
Yeah, and I believe so. I'm just saying, like, if you compare the two, where it's like, okay, if you just had to perform digitally, and then you just had to perform with a band, you better know your words if you're doing it with a band.
Right,
I mean, don't get me
No, that's
wrong.
true.
It's a pro and a con to that. Like I said, it's a pro and a con in every situation. The con is you can forget your words and look very unprofessional on stage as an artist. The
Can't
pro
be me.
is if you got talented bandmates, they'll treat that like a solo. And then give you a code signal to where you just pick up where they left off and just chant something.
Right.
To where now they adapt to your mood. Oh, Ferg forgot his words. Boom, let's just do this real quick. Boom, da, 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 da. And it's like boom, and you kind of pick up. Yeah, so when I say y'all say, and then they follow your lead, and then they fade out the song. You know what I'm saying? So that's the pro to it. The con is you don't got that ad lib behind you. If you kind of slip, you can hear it in the back and say, oh, that's where I'm at. Yeah, da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? So. You know,
it's true.
Being able to perform on both sides of the fence is a blessing, you know, because I'm able to learn a lot. And I'm able to learn tips and tricks and trades to what's going on. You know what I mean? But it's amazing. Like, I love bands. I think they're amazing. And eventually, I definitely would like to have another band that I perform with. You know?
What would you call it?
I ain't even think that far yet, to be quite honest with you. It'll be called... I don't know. Elites. We be called the Elites. F it.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say T-Ferg in the crew. Like, I'm not just that type of guy. It'd be the Elites. I don't know.
Well,
It's T-Ferg and the Fergies.
T-Ferg and the Lil Fergs. So, yeah.
T-Ferg and the guys. Yo.
Yeah, it'd be something. I name it the Elites. I
Go
don't know.
old school
You know what I'm
T-Ferg
saying?
and the Drip Drops.
The
What?
drip drops. What? Wait. The drip drop.
You know how they used to come out with groups like
Nigga,
the
this ain't
Emotions.
Empire.
Emotions and
Empire.
Name it the emojis.
the emojis.
The emojis. That's
The
what
trap
it be called.
house emoji.
Oh, the trap.
Trap house emoji. I don't even do trap music. That's
Right.
what's funny. The trap house emoji.
T-Ferg and the Trap House emojis.
Man, we trapping CDs out the bando. Wait, huh? What? You making bread? Where they do that at? You can just stand at the damn store and make your bread.
Now, let's start this with the question of asking you about preparing for a live performance. Tima, you interjected the idea of having a pre-recorded track and having some things on the recording and others being played live. Do you ever do that?
I've had friends actually have me prepare like a track that had like a click track in the background and their vocals, because they knew they were going to have their band playing.
What was that?
They knew they were going to have their band playing, so what I did was I did the click track. I made a click track for them. So when you hear 1, 2, 3, 4, and the band just go blah 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 blah, but it also has their background. So basically, the band is playing off a click track, and they're playing, and they hear like whatever samples in there. They hear the vocals and the backgrounds and everything. So they're still playing with the click track, but it's sort of like in their ear, you know. But I've done it for somebody, and it's been successful. I've done it for a couple people, and it's been successful.
So how long have you been doing studio work?
Studio work, I probably started when about 2001, 2000, but I've been learning probably since like 90 something.
Okay.
Like 97, 98, but I was just learning in the learning phase. I was writing music then.
So you didn't go to school for it, you learned it from
No.
actually from
No.
Or did you?
No. I went to school for. I went to school for it also.
Where did you go to school?
I went to Villa Maria. Villa
They
Maria.
have a very good program, I understand.
I went there for music business and engineering and everything. Great. Anthony Casuccio was one of my teachers, and he was a great man, Grammy nominated man, mixing, mastering, everything. And I was the type of guy that sat up under him. And like, I don't care if I know I got a 2-hour break. And my thing is, like, we had class, 2-hour break. I would see him sitting in lunch. He's in lunch. He's eating his. I don't care if he's eating a ham sandwich. I'm going to sit right next to him and dig. Hey, these vocals, my vocals really don't sound like they're sitting in track. What should I do? Hey, add some compression to it, EQ it, and he teach me little tips and how to get my stuff sounding the way it is. And after that, me and his main lesson to me was more like, trust your ear. Don't trust what anybody else say about your mix. Trust what you hear. And that's the main thing that I've done. And ever since then, I've been doing good with it. I've been trusting my ear. If I know that it don't sound a certain way that I want, I will make it sound the way that I want. I don't care if I'm adding a reverb, delay, flange, or chorus, whatever it is. I'm going to make it sound the way that I want it to sound. So
you've done some work for a lot of people locally.
A lot of people locally. A lot of people.
A
lot of people locally.
So what do you do to get them get them radio ready?
What I do is they come in, they record, they do what they have to. They do their part as in recording, their verses, chorus, backgrounds, whatever they have to do to make their stuff sound good. And sometimes they sit there with me as I mix. While I'm mixing the stuff, they're like, "Yo, can you make this echo right here? Or can you delay this here? Or can you drop the beat right here? Or can you make this sound chopped and screwed with the low voice or do whatever?" And I actually sit there and listen to the artist. Like, not too many. Some engineers do it, some engineers don't. Some engineers are just push button engineers. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, that sounds good. Let's keep going. I'm more of the type of person who care about what music comes out of the studio.
What's the name of your studio?
Sound Like Productions.
Sound Lock
Productions. Yep.
SLP.
Kind of elaborate real quick on what he was saying. I know exactly what he mean because he know how, like, his passion is there. You feel what I'm saying? I've recorded at other places where I'll be like, "Yo, does this sound good?" Now, if you're a beginner artist, you still trying to find your way. You don't know what sound good or what's radio ready. You don't know. You just trying to do what you do, and you got some engineer. Yeah, that's fine. Keep it going. Come on. Because they on the clock. They just want that check. But his passion is there. Where he'll say, "Yo, you know what? You 20 minutes over your session. I really don't condone it because I am a businessman. I'm about my time. But I see you serious about this, and I want to help you. Let me give you some of this music knowledge. Let me, you know what? You a singer? Say this harmony. You feel what I'm saying? Say this harmony. What is you talking about, bro? He in the background. You see him? He in the background.
No, basically what I was saying.
He's trying to produce my show for me.
My brother was eating chicken this morning.
No, basically like explaining how like people can like they can hear everything y'all saying like on the music instead of it being so muffled or so out of the ordinary. It's so much static in the background. Basically,
making it clear for them to understand.
It's radio static. You know what I'm saying?
And like, yeah, I feel what you're saying. And no, seriously, and it's one of them things where it's like I said, his passion is there. You know what I'm saying? So when your question, what does he do to make an artist get radio ready? He tell them what they don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, well, the radio expect this. Bro, your song is 4 minutes. It's not going to make the radio. Let's cut it down to 3:30. Most engineers be like, nah, I just want to check. I don't care how long it's on. As long as you pay me for my hour, that's cool. He like, nah, bro, let's cut this down. You know what? This not going to make the radio because this hook is a little rough. Let's clean it up a little bit. Sing it this way. Try it this way. And that's why I've been here since I started. It has nothing to do with the fact that this is my brother. It has everything to do with the fact that I love his passion for it. And I want to work with people who have a passion for what I have a passion with, which is music. You feel what I'm Brooks and yo, shout out everybody that's watching. Listen, shout out to Brooks.
No, put it on there.
Listen, put him on there. Put him on there.
Cause this is real shit though. Like,
yo, shout out to my bro Brooks. Man, this nigga,
like real talk shit. Like real talk. That's some real shit. Cause he just said a valuable point. I know so many producers, man, that'll sit there and, oh, you got $50? All right, well, shit, I'm gonna give you 2 hours. And guess what? Them 2 hours. Within them 2 hours of you doing that one track, your shit still sound horrible. Well, compared to somebody that actually take their time out and want to sit there and hear your voice on top of that beat. They're taking their time out on it. Right. Instead of rushing you with it. He want to help you. Like he said, I'm going to help you with it. I don't care, man, you pass your time and all that. He's going to help you with it because he loves music. He like to hear the sound of your voice on top of music.
That's my thing. I want
now, don't get it twisted, though.
So this is your PR guy, right?
That's my brother. Listen, that's my security. I ain't gonna front.
That's my little brother, man. He's my little brothers. I love him.
You jump on stage trying to get crazy with Ferg. You jump on stage trying to get crazy with Ferg. You got to deal with my security. That's all I'm gonna say.
Don't let the size fool you.
Listen, all I'm gonna say is, bro told me keep it professional, lead the street to the security, and I'm gonna just leave it at that. Right. But seriously though, like that's why I love working with this guy right here, man, because it has nothing to do with what we know about each other, but it has everything to do with he's passionate about it. And even me, I have a lot of artists in the city who look up to me and say, yo, Ferg, you my mentor, blah, 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 show me what you know. And I always send him his way because everything I learned was through him. And even till this day, if I'm recording right now, I do some, yo, bro, how that sound? I trust his judgment because I know his passion is behind it. He not going to say, oh, yeah, that's cool just for a check. He gonna be like, nah, bro, I'm not feeling that. Let's do this way.
I'm one of them type of engineers. I will criticize you in the middle of your session. Like, whoa, why'd you put that there? And I've had a couple clients that came through that recorded. I'm like, oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Do it this way. And then next thing you know, they do it that way. They be like, yo, this is beautiful. I like it this way. Keep it this way, this, that, blah, blah, blah. Let's finish this track. They finish the track, I mix it, master it, and they love it.
So do you make music for them as well, or do you just
record
what they bring in?
I record actually what they bring in, but I add my thought process. Some people just love it the way they kept it. Even if I tell them, hey, why don't you try it this way? I mean, it's not going to be no extra charge to you, but why don't you try it this way? If it fits, keep it. Some people are like, no, I like it the way I did it. Okay, whatever. Put it out. And that's their thought process because they're their own artists.
So what kind of equipment you use?
I use
confidential equipment.
To be honest, I love PreSonus. I'm a PreSonus man. I use Studio One.
The software.
That's my software. Studio One recording software. I use.
Who makes that? Or do you know? Or
what was that?
It doesn't matter. Who makes Studio One?
Who makes the Studio One?
Who makes Studio One?
Oh, Studio One, PreSonus. PreSonus makes Studio One. I got my Studio One, my PreSonus I/O right here, input, output right here, microphones, any instrument goes through here. I got my Behringer mixing controller right here. This controls everything from, I don't care if this is track 1, 2, and 3. If this got all my tracks, this is what it is. You know what I mean? I also make my beats in Studio One also. PreSonus, I love PreSonus. It's like, to be honest, I was listening to a seminar that what's his name? Oh, I just drew a blank. Teddy Riley was in. Oh. Teddy Riley was in the seminar. He's
a beast.
Teddy Riley is like one of my #1 producers besides Timbaland and then any other producer. Teddy Riley was my #1 producer, and he was like, I love PreSonus Studio One because I've been to Pro Tools, I've been to Cakewalk, I've been to Cubase, I've been to Logic, I've been to all this. I've been doing all this music, but Studio One sort of fits my needs because it's easy to learn and I can just drop all my old loops or whatever I got from the old school in there just by drag and drop, and I can, use my sounds in there, and somehow my sounds comes out a little clearer than what it's supposed to be.
Do you use Cakewalk or?
I use Cakewalk
Pro
also.
Tools? You use Pro Tools?
My last Cakewalk was Cakewalk. I forgot what it X. I forgot what it was. I'm not even gonna lie. X3, X something.
You use Pro Tools?
I don't use Pro Tools. I learned Pro Tools when I went to Villa Maria. Pro Tools. I like Pro Tools, but Pro Tools to me, as a engineer, is more complicated. I gotta add more and do more as an engineer to get the sound that I need. Where certain programs that I'm using now is more like drag and drop, boom, this there, done.
So I want you to know that he is in keeping with the general consensus of the studios I've been in. Every studio I go to, I ask these same questions, and most studios I go to, they have Pro Tools and don't use it or don't bother with it at all. And what you'll hear people say is that we use Pro Tools because it's the industry standard. No, they'll come up with all this BS. It doesn't matter what they're using in the industry.
It really doesn't.
It's what can you use to get the sound you want.
Right.
That's the important thing. So it was, that's your logo there on the screen.
Sunrise Productions. That's that's something I've done in the past. My buddy did it for me. My man Stoic. He's a real good graphic designer and everything. Shout out to him. You know what I mean? Drastic Graphics. I'm sorry.
So everybody and their mother does graphics, though.
Everybody does graphics.
Anybody knows how to use Microsoft Word does graphics.
Right. But that's my man.
I mean, I don't mean that to diss.
No. He's
to diss because I know a few people that do it, and
But the thing with my buddy,
they do graphics, and they are good at it and do it quite a bit. Like for instance, Al Max, he used to host my show. He does graphics, does good. Future, he does graphics. I think he makes more money at doing graphics than he did as a producer.
Right.
So I know
he's
that.
Good. He's good.
He's
good.
good.
I like.
We got some graphics done for.
But my buddy, what I can say about him, though, to be honest, I mean, I like Future's graphics.
Buffalo's Future.
I follow him with graphics and everything. I follow Al Mac. I like their graphics also. My buddy, I like him too. Like I've
Shout out
done
to Stoic.
like Stoic. He does real good work. He's he moved to California and to pursue his business. DrasticGraphics.com. He's a great graphic designer. And what he does is he went to school for it. And I mean, he perfected it, and he's actually making a living off of graphics right now. Some people can't say I made $25 off of doing the flyer. He made a living off of it. He moved to California and made a living.
Man, there are a lot of people that know a lot of things that they're not making money doing.
Right.
And I mean, example me.
Shit, me too.
You doing your thing.
So a lot of things that I do that I'm not making.
It's real when your little brother.
And when you went, my thing is musically, me as who I am, musically, graphically, whatever you learn, if you're making money off of what you want to do and what you love to do, you're already successful.
There's this rapper here in Buffalo. I forgot his name. But Al Max took it.
That's my buddy.
And he was singing his song. He was singing this song, and the hook said, "If you don't know how to make money, get a job." That was the hook. I remember standing there thinking, "Wow, I have a job. What does that say about me?"
I mean, what does it say about me? But sometimes, I mean, the thing is, you know what I mean? Sometimes, I mean, you have to have that job to be that income that you need. Sometimes, like I said, you don't have nobody else footing that money.
Right.
So why not get a job to foot that money towards something that you want to do in the future? And like Steve Harvey say, jump. Mm-hmm. Why not jump?
Why not?
Take that jump. Because if you don't take that jump, you'll never know how far you go.
Facts.
He should have put a parachute on first, but jump.
Yeah, Yeah, oh man, yeah, I put my parachute on. Yeah.
Automatic.
Yeah, I mean, so basically that job is just security. Like me, I went to school for welding. I'm a welder. I went to school for welding, and that is my plan B. So let's say this music don't kick off with me. I'm a welder. I weld. I can go straight to the iron union or whatever I go and say, hey, I'm a welder. What's the problem? You're still successful in what you want to do.
The green don't know where you got it from.
Right. That's true.
So this
It's always that plan B, but I guarantee you we're going to make it in this music, so it don't even matter to me.
So, on that note, how are you living while you waiting for your dream to come to fruition?
You know what's amazing about it? I'm blessed. I'm in a situation where when, like right now, I got a seat on the way. So yeah, I went and got a job. You know, that's no pride over this way. I flip burgers. Whatever I got to do, my baby gonna get whatever he got to get. But
I
you
like
know,
bucks for a butt living.
but you know what's amazing.
Myself before this welding thing.
But you know what's amazing about it though? Before I even had the job that I got now, that God blessed me with, I was able to pay my bills off my royalty checks.
Royalty checks.
You know, and I thank God first, but I thank God for putting people like him in my life where he showed me the business. Because what I realized is the difference, and I'm not coming at nobody, but the difference between me and a lot of other artists that's locally in the city, the difference is I'm applying the business to my craft. Y'all not applying the business. Not that y'all don't know it, y'all just not applying it. It's a lot of work, it's tedious. But when them checks come in, it's amazing. Because it was times where rent was due, and I was unemployed, and then a royalty check came in. I thank God first, but it's like, God, thank you for that knowledge. You know, because I know the business, I'm able to provide somewhat for my family, even though the workforce is not messing with your boy at the moment. You know, so now I'm in a situation where you say, how is it going? It's amazing because I'm still getting royalty checks on top of my 9-to-5 checks now. But what's amazing is because I am at this starting point, I know the only way to go is up now. If I'm making, I'm not going to say my number, but if I'm making X amount of dollars, you know, monthly off royalty checks and quarterly through BMI off of royalty checks, I know with a little more work and a little more fan base, that number going to get bigger. That number going to get bigger. Then eventually I'm going to be able to tell my job, thank you for the opportunity, but I no longer need it. You know?
I'm gonna interject in this Q-Tip.
Q-Tip.
From a Tribe Called Quest. Remember the song Benita
I just bought their
Applebaum?
last album.
Benita Applebaum. Got it going
Yeah, when, at the height of Benita Applebaum, he was still sleeping on his mother's couch.
Yep.
His total, he said his total take, cash in hand from Benita Applebaum was $15,000. Less than you would make flipping burgers.
Yeah.
So I always tell people, if you're not going to learn the business aspect of the music business, then you might as well stand on the corner and stand on the corner and sing with a hat right there, hoping somebody drops a nickel in there as they walk by.
You know what's funny about it? I'm sorry, I mean,
go ahead,
you know what's funny about it? I went to Tops. This was just recently, like 3-4 months ago. I went to Tops. I went to go cash in a BMI check. You know, I have time to run to my bank, and I get paper checks through BMI. I ain't got direct deposit yet for them. Mm-hmm. But Sound Exchange, it's a publishing company. But Sound Exchange, I got direct deposit for them. But BMI, they sent me a check. I went to Tops. The first Tops I went to, they said, "Sir, is this a valid check?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's a music check." What surprised me though was not that the check didn't go through for them, and I had to go to another Tops, and it finally went through. What surprised me was, and this is no shot to nobody, but I hear so many artists who talk that money in their rhymes and how they businesses. It's like, if all of you artists is getting royalty checks, why this company, this established company, never seen nothing like this until I walked in with it? Right. That shows me a lot of y'all is not really making, and if y'all is, it's probably direct deposit. But no, seriously, it could be. It goes right to their joint. I'm gonna be honest. It could be
right to their card.
It could be direct deposit. So I'm not saying nobody ain't making money. Right. I'm just saying it amazes me because some of y'all, I'm not throwing names out there, but some of y'all I know don't have a bank account, so you're not getting direct deposit.
Right.
I'm not getting direct deposit through BMI because I set it up that way. I got one paper check and I got another direct deposit.
So
You know,
what's
I
PayPal?
set it up that way, huh?
What's like, what's PayPal?
PayPal it's just another
What?
online little account, but
You
it's
too,
like
you too
but-
young to
but
not know what PayPal is.
the point I'm making is, it amazed me how when I went into Tops, they looked at my check like I was trying to commit fraud, and it's like, this is a music royalty check. Like, this is not fraud. I got this from BMI Publishing Company. You see it on there. It say broadcast music. Like, you see it. So why are you looking at me like, well, why our machine not reading it? I don't know why your machine not reading it. But what amazed me was, it's a lot of artists out here that I deal with and I network with. And I'm like, okay, I know you and you don't have a bank account because we had a personal conversation.
And there's a lot of musicians and producers and record labels here in this city
That's
that
not
don't
legit.
even know, that have heard of BMI but don't know, outside of the fact that it stands for Broadcast Music Incorporated, that don't know what they do. And
A lot of people don't even know about.
I'm leaving for them to look it up, to Google it.
A lot of people, and this is some real stuff, a lot of artists in the city don't even know when you go to certain venues, not all, certain venues, you can get a royalty check from performing at that venue. You gotta send them in footage though. You gotta send them in your footage and you know the establishment and all that, so they can really look it up, track it, make sure it's within their category. But a lot of people don't even know you can get a royalty check from performing at some of these places that you've been performing at for the longest, as long as you register. But this goes back to what I'm saying, like.
You gotta know that business.
You gotta know the business, and that's one thing I do. I study it because I realized, yes, I love music, but I don't want this to be a hobby. This is a career. I want to keep it that way.
Speaking of doo-doo, it's been another hour. And I could probably spend all night talking. But
That was quick. That was
yes.
Another
heavy
hour.
flowing, bro.
So
What time is it, like 140, what 150?
No, it's about.
I could talk to you guys all night, and
Yeah.
I really appreciate you guys coming on the show and inviting me into the studio. Gotta end it with you spitting some bars. That's the street journal way.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Not a
They should do
problem.
that motherfucking BT joint.
Man, this ain't the basement.
Nah, I'm just saying, you know, I mean, it's a blessing to be here, period.
All right,
Always.
we
I want to kick some
we
loud-
only got 4 minutes, so
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I said, born in the system, born in the struggle, born with a gift, and the gift was the hustle. But it ain't have to be drugs, whatever we could sell. Most of my old friends either dead or in jail. I'm thinking about the past and the nigga really miss it. I don't know about my future, but I'm feeling like I fixed it. I'm trying to accomplish everything I got up on his wish list so I could get the keys to my mama like we did it. I'm stronger than ever, black and I'm hungry for this cheddar, man. Nobody never gave me shit, but I ain't hold grudges. I knew I was out here on my own. Ain't nobody about to make me rich. I'm a man on a mission. A lot of y'all probably think I'm tripping because you can't see it from my position, but the sky is the limit. Anything you want up in this world, all you really got to do is go and get it. But be advised, they gonna try to say that you ain't qualified. If you weak-minded, that'll have you traumatized. But when I looked to see that pain in my mama's eyes, I couldn't accept no. I guess I'm just that kind of guy. I'm not a statistic. Blessed to make it past 21. The cops ain't have to find my forensics. I pray I live a long life and own a couple things in my name, even though the system want me just to rent shit. And I don't watch TV because the media ain't shit. And if you ain't careful, they'll tell you how to live. They'll tell you how to eat. They'll tell you when to sleep. They'll even say you wrong when you chastise your kids. And like a fool, you would be the one to believe it. Little shorty trying to be a model, she going bulimic. She think that's the only way that she can see a cover of a magazine because her skin is made of color. But man, I ain't saying it's impossible. I'm just saying, damn, that's another obstacle that little shorty got to face. But how can you blame her in her race when being black wasn't optional? No, y'all ain't hear me. I ain't saying it's impossible. I love being black, even with the obstacles that we all got to face. But how can you blame me in my race when being black wasn't optional? It's Ferg.
oh man,
It's Ferg.
man,
It's Ferg.
it's fire.
Tell him again. Who is it? It's Ferg. Bars over Baghdad. Shit, fuck it.
Man.
Bars over bag.
Thanks a lot,
Thanks
man.
a lot,
I
man.
truly, truly appreciate you, man. Thanks for stepping out, bro, for real.
Come on, man. That's how you do it.
I'm glad you stopped through. I ain't know you was going.
Shit, nigga, he said an interview. I'm like, man,
Counting my stacks, I got racks upon racks on racks, and I go hard till I can't no more. My money is about as tall as Shaq. Wax the chrome on my Cadillac, white wall shining like they coming back.
Getting in that new thing faster than Sonic. Bad wiping me down like Delta Sonic. Spit shine, got me cleaner than an old shoe shine. Drop the top, lay it down. Full time.